morning. We're up and running this morning, getting it popping on our trading for the day. Friday, May 31st. It's the end of the month. It's the end of the month. So now we got to close out. Let's close out strong. We'll see what we can do to close out as strong as possible. Closing out as strong as live over there. See what we can do. Hey, if you're here with us, say hi in the chat so we can say hi back. Want to make sure that we're together. Everybody can hear us, that all is going well. I'm checking on my own screen. Okay, looks like, hey, Miss Barbara. Hey, Marcia, how we doing? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So as we see on the screen, the VIX this morning is at 13.7. So yesterday, SPX took a nice little dive off the cliff yesterday as we were ending the day. So those who were trading in your SPX yesterday or looking at the overall market yesterday, okay, I want this one to be SPX. In the overall market, you would have seen that we did a little bit of a dip, baby. Yes, this is what SPX looked like. This is what the 4-hour chart. So this is the last 4 hours of the day look like this over here. Let's go to like a 15-minute chart because it'll seem a whole lot more pronounced when we do it that way. When you see it up here, you'll be like, oh man, what happened here? Basically, we started falling as early as Thursday about 1:30, and it kind of took a little pause right at the support area and fell down some more. So that was yesterday. So now we trade accordingly, right? We trade accordingly. Let's see, where is SPX actually currently right now? We're a few minutes before the market opens. We're at SPX 500. If you didn't know that, you can look at SPX 500 and see it moving in the post-market and the pre-market. Usually, if you're looking at just SPX, you can't see it. There's no movement in the post-market and pre-market. But if you look at SPX 500 on TradingView, SPX 500, you can see what the market is currently doing. Looks like we had a really big candle that took us up to 52.55 after data. It's pulling back a little bit. I believe some data came in not long ago. So we're going to go take a check at that. We looked at the VIX already. Yep. Yahoo Finance. Come on, fill in, please. There we go. I think this is Fed. This is Fed Jerome. Inflation slowed in April, according to the closely watched measure, but price increases remain sticky. The hot, new, and potentially risky asset class to watch. Trump was found guilty yesterday, for anybody who's interested in that bit of information. Warren Buffett's son talks $800 million aid effort to Ukraine. I don't think I've ever heard anything mentioned about his son. That's interesting to see. New York Fed Williams sees inflation easing. Alrighty, cool. Easing is good. It says here U.S. inflation rises in line with expectations. Which is it? Is it easing? Is it cooling? Is it rising? What is it doing? What is it doing? What is it doing? Good morning, Renee. Miss Barbara said, any chance you happen to know why SPX froze for about an hour? Yeah, so supposedly in all the brokers, there was something going on with the data, and that's why it froze. But they say that the New York Stock Exchange, it was still doing its thing on the exchanges. But y'all know we don't like that funny business. Anytime they start doing that, it may be that they got some stuff happening and they don't want us to be a part of it. So they said it was something to do with data, but the overall market, at the exchange was still working fine. It's just us people who was interacting through brokers, not so much. That's what they said. Morning, Tanya. Hey, Asleen, how y'all doing? The Fed's preferred inflation measure rose 0.2% in April as expected. Okay, so as I was just saying, we had data that came out this morning, and that data was the PCE price index, was a red folder at 830, 0.2%. It's a little bit warmer, I guess, or cooler than they thought it would be. They thought it would be at 0.3%. Ms. Barbara, you're right. Something behind the scenes. They don't want to tell us. Personal income was on target, and the personal spending 0.2%. They thought it would be 0.3%. It was 0.7 last time. Chicago PMI is going to come out at 9:45 though. So make sure that you keep that in mind. That's going to happen soon after the market opens. And at 6:15, FOMC member Bostic will speak. So basically, we just need to manage the fact that we are on the last day of the month. We're closing out the month to see whatever is going on for the month of May. We're going to be ready for June. Now, remember, we're starting June the 3rd. We have Morning Ward, June the 3rd through the 7th. We have to start with the chart challenge. If you have not signed up for the challenge yet, you need to register for that. It is free, but you have to register because the information that's being sent, like the link and all that stuff, is going to registrants. Okay, there is a VIP experience, which will give you recordings, a Q&A session with me after the call. Every night, I'll have an extra session to talk to just the people who are in the VIP, talk about charting, we'll talk about trade ideas, we'll answer questions, all those good things. But you need to be registered. If you're a VIP person, of course, that's $47. But you need to be registered, okay? You need to register. Educatortotrader.com to get registered. It is the second icon on the page. All righty. Educatortotrader.com. So now we had some earnings last night. I want to say Costco was one, Dale was one, Zscaler, don't know who they are, Marvel, Mongo, Ulta had earnings. I'm interested to see what Ulta's earnings was like. I did not know Ulta was like a $300 or $200 stock. I think my mind was talking about ELF. My mind was thinking ELF, but they were saying Ulta, which is not the same thing. This ain't that, as the kids say. This ain't that. So I didn't know it was a $200 something. They had earnings last night. They had earnings last night. Costco had earnings, Dale had earnings, Ulta, those were the big ones. This morning we had Genesco earnings was this morning. Okay, you can just go ahead and pick the one I wanted. There we go. All righty. So Adam had to say this morning, quick work on a Friday. He basically put out one message, and then after the data came out, he put out another tweet. And if you're, Adam Mancini is on Twitter. You see Adam Mancini 4. That's who he is on Twitter. So if you want to see his stuff that you don't want to have to wait for me to post it or whatever, then definitely, hop in on Twitter for some of the things. Okay, the bell is ringing, ding-a-ding-a-ding. ZS is cybersecurity. Oh, that's a good thing. Cybersecurity is good. So Adam says SPX 52.23 to 26 was his support, with 52.43 being the first target. They just hit it. If you're long, lock in profits here. Let a runner work all day. So let runner work. And I'm thinking runner's going up. Maybe we got some more upward movement that's going to happen. Protect your mental capital. No greed on a Friday. Ooh, come on, Jesus. No greed on a Friday. No greed on Friday. That's me leaning in to my microphone to make sure that there's no greed on a Friday. Protect mental capital, because I will say, and I know no one here will disagree with me, that trading is so mental. It plays on your psychologicals, right? It's huge. Trading psychology is probably the biggest piece. To have a strategy is one thing that you can work. You can work the mechanics of a strategy, but to manage yourself in the middle of that strategy is probably the biggest thing to conquer the enemy, to conquer greed and FOMO, the psychology, impatience, all those things that you're conquering yourself is bigger than any strategy that you're going to deal with in trading. I promise you. Soon as the trade starts going against you, you get nervous, like, oh my God. And then you jump out. And then as soon as you jump out, the trade go the way you want it to go. All we really can do is do our assessments on the front side, enter the trade, and let it do it what it do. If it doesn't do what you want it to do, and you got a set time for stop loss, you got a set criteria for when you will exit, then exit according to your criteria. But don't jump and knee jerk. That's the hard. It's hard. I'm just saying it like it's all simple. Just don't do it. There's much more work than just don't knee jerk, because it's a whole battle that happens inside of here. Okay. Anyway, back to what Adam said. No greed on a Friday. Protect your mental capital. Want to have a good weekend. 52.57, then 52.80 and 52.87 are next up. We dip only if 52.23 and 26 fails from here. Okay, so we want to make sure that we are following and watching. Let me put the SPX back on the screen so we can see how we opened this morning. Looks like we had a gap up in the morning. We had a gap up in the morning, right? We gapped up from here. Let me go. I will put it on the daily chart. Not that it's going to change what the gap up looks like, but this is where we are. Where's my candle for today? Are we on SPX? Yes, we are. Why does that say Tuesday? Where are we? Oh, I'm on the weekly chart, wondering what was going on. Like, I'm okay. I'm really okay. Okay. So this is the daily chart. This gap up, of course, it gapped up from the close to the open, which is where it didn't gap up from the whole candle. It gapped up from the close of yesterday to the open of today. That's how gaps work, right? Gaps up from the close of one day to the open of the next day. And that's where we are. Looks like it even is trying to come back and fill in the gap right off rip. Maybe it'll fill the gap and then go on by its merry way. That would be the good thing. I really need and want Amazon to decide it's ready to move upwards again. So come on, Amazon. What tickers are we looking at? Okay, I got a few. Put in the chat whatever tickers you got, but I want you to put in there, what stocks do you have that you got your trades going and you're concerned about what it's going to do for the day? Are you concerned about closing it? What are we doing for the day? Okay. This is SPX. No, that's Amazon. I was like, what is this? No, why is it looking like it's not SPX? Amazon's going down some more. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? I need you the other direction. I'm saying that because I have an Amazon put credit spread that, of course, cannot close and is now breached. So I need Amazon to do its thing, but I've got a close order in place that it can close early. It can close a little early. Okay, did we have any things in there? Let's look at SPX real quick before we go back, because Amazon is not. I had Amazon. Oh, I got SOXL. Let's see what the I see SPX is going on about its merry way. I have SOXL also. Call credit spread on Enphase. Is it about to run into it? Is it about to? Let's go look at it. I have the call credit spread on Enphase as well, and I need to go, and it's breached as well. I think it's partially breached, fully breached. I need Nvidia to go on about its business as well. This is SOXL. Got some downward motion first thing in the morning. You can go on back up. It's just hanging out in between these two zones. Let's check EMPH. Call credit spread. What do we have? Let's see, what do I have? Not where that was supposed to be. That's supposed to be over here so I can see. Oh, you know what? Even though we're doing the Start with the Chart challenge, I was seriously, and I still may run it, a challenge on, it's the Just One challenge. And that's probably because I need to challenge myself as much as anyone else to do just one stock, just one trade per day, just one. Un trade, just one. Yes, just one. How about we do that? Go ahead. You can close on up. My shop trades are fine. Well, no, not shop. It was coin. My coin trades both closed yesterday. I had them both closed yesterday. Let's look at Enphase. Enphase is currently up. Oh, it gapped up this morning. 131. I want to say I have 136 as my position. 136 I think I have, but you know what though? I entered 134 yesterday too. I'm still in a good place. 134 is beyond this little resistance area. I have that as well. Of course, when the price is going up towards it, then it doesn't want to reduce in premium, but my put credit spread side of Enphase has closed. What strikes do you have, Marcia? Janae says I mastered that one. Only one trade, one at a time, day and week. Yeah, that's something I need to work on, because I would like to be able to literally do one stock and trade it all over. But then that means I need to zoom in, hone in, all the things that go along with focus. I need to do all of that so that way I can do that. I need to do that. Okay, 134, 135. Okay, that's the same one I have. And currently we're good with 134, 135. You put in the close order, Marcia. Go ahead and put in your close order and let it work. Let it work, right? Go ahead and put in the close order and let it work. It looks like that 134.35 is currently worth $17. I think I took in $18 and it's currently worth $17. So it needs to get down before I can. Of course, we can close it at break even. That's a thing too, right? Marsha said, looking to get out of 50%. Me too. I have a 50% close order on mine as well. I think I have it set for $8. I took in 18. I have it set for $8. That's going to pay the fees and give me my half that I get to keep. So that's what I'm looking at. Hey, Tamar. Tamar, you got us on this Enphase, sis. You got us on this Enphase. All righty. Did we have any other stocks, any other trades we're looking at that need us to revisit, need us to be visiting? Anything we need to visit? Dale had earnings. That didn't do all that great. You see, Dale did a drop. Maybe it'll trade back up and come back into this gap. If you're looking at something, maybe Dale, because you do see there is support down in this bottom area, and maybe could potentially turn around and going back up to fill this monstrous gap that it created. Let's put us a thingy on here. So we close the gap from here, and remember the gap goes from close, which means that's not high enough, close to the open, and we take off for the wick. But this gap actually is from the close, which is at the top of this green candle, top of the green candle down to the top of the wick of the open candle. That is the gap fill. Nope. I want you, baby. That's what I want. Okay, that's Dale. And Costco had earnings last night. We will look at that. Datadog, yep, Asleen, I've got Datadog. That is also breached on my trades. I got 120 as a put credit spread. Looking down here, Datadog, I have 120 is my, it's 120. No, the put credit spread. I got 120 on the put credit spread. I might need to go ahead and close that one on up. It's fully breached. At this point, I feel like when they're fully breached and it's already at $100 or already at the max, you might as well let the time go. because if it's already fully breached, it's Friday, and the worth of it is at least $100, which is max loss, right? You might as well just let it sit and watch it. And I usually put on the order I want, but I'll leave it in the closed order area so I can still see that it's there, but I don't do anything to close it until later in the day, because there's no reason. Either I'm gonna close it now for $100 or close it later for $100. So I just leave it and let the day have its day. Right? I just do it that way. So this is what we're looking at. Costco. Costco didn't do well at earnings either. You see how it fell off the cliff too? So that didn't do very well on earnings either. So was our Datadog trade Iron Condor? I think that's what we did. I turned it into a put credit spread, call credit spread. So that way I turned it into like almost like a PDT hack, but it wasn't a PDT hack in total because it wasn't like on the same day, but I did the exact same trade on the opposite side so I could pull in more capital. And I may do that again today and pull in more capital and then eat up and then use a day trade. Again, I did that yesterday. That's an option to go to the exact same strikes, but on the opposite side and take in those premiums. So that way you are minimizing the loss on your one side, but you're taking in premiums on the other side. I don't know if that makes sense. 119. I have 119, 120 is what I have on Datadog on the put credit spread side. So what I would do is turn that into a call credit spread. And you can turn it into a call credit spread for the same day, or you turn it into a call credit spread for next week. You're going to take in more money if you do it for next week. 119, 120. Yeah, because there's $2 for this week, and that ain't enough to make it work for me. So if we did a call credit spread I'm looking at Datadog, by the way. I can switch screens probably so that way everybody can see what I'm looking at. 119, 120 for next week, plus minus 6. Yeah, that would be something I'd be worth doing. 119, 120. Paying $14. It's not $19. Yep, it's not paying a lot of money, but I'll take that to minimize my loss from before. Okay. All right. So this here is Costco. Again, didn't do so well in earnings, still falling for those who trade. Miss Barbara, you used to trade Costco, I believe, or was it Coin you used to trade? I think it was Coin. Okay. Datadog. Let's go look at Datadog on the chart, though. That way we can see what it is we're looking at least. Wonder why it dropped down so bad. They didn't have earnings last night. Why did it drop like this? There's a fair value gap for those who know about fair value gaps. I'm not one of those people, but there is a fair value gap here. That's what this red thing means. Is there's a fair value gap, which means the price may come.
What is the fair value gap?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't really know. So anybody who we're the only person who can speak. ICT. This is an ICT thing. If somebody is on the chat and can do something in the chart into the comments about a fair value gap, I don't really know. Okay, I do know a little bit. Let me think, because I have heard what it is. What will my brain tell me about fair value gaps? It's basically something between the first candle and the third candle. If the first candle and the third candle, which would be this one and this one, if something happens between these two candles, it can create what's called a fair value gap. Yeah. So I'm not real sure. I'm sure, but not enough to talk about it, right? I know it's something to do with the first candle and the third candle because I did hear about what that actually means. But this indicator put these fair value gaps up here, but fair value gaps, as I understand it, is something that want to be filled almost like those regular gaps, right? It's a similar concept. Tamar says she's nail biting on this EMPH call credit spread 2 days ago, but never picked up. Yeah, I think if it doesn't get up to 134, what's your plus minus number for today? I got 134 too. It needs to act right because those premiums don't like to draw up like them other ones either. They don't like to pull back. So I don't see anybody put anything about fair value. Maybe do a quick little search, Jamie, on your computer, see what it's maybe a quick explanation. I do when I see I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it is. I'm gonna remember it after somebody put something in the chat. I'm gonna be like, yep, that's it. But it's something to do with ICT. For those who learned ICT, again, it's not me. I didn't learn any ICT stuff, but fair value gaps come out. They're part of the ICT guys training. Okay, did my camera just go shift? Did it shift? Way it did. I was fooling around with it. Let me go make sure I fix the camera. Because I think the camera moving. You see anything of interest? Okay, let's look at EMPH one more time. What else do we have? Any other trades we're looking at? Is ICT an abbreviation? It might be. Ooh, yay, Marsha. Yay, ICT is I don't know if the guy calls himself ICT or I'm not sure if the guy calls himself ICT. It's a whole thing though. Or if the method of training is called ICT. I'm trying to remember. I don't. Okay, looks like, oh yeah, Enphase ran right on up there and got right up into this resistance area, didn't it? It went right on up to that pivot zone. Did I turn on, are my pivots turned off? I don't have pivot even on this one. I usually have a pivots indicator. It's on this one over here. Let's switch to the other side. Let's go to the other side because there's a pivots over here. EMPH. The pivots indicator is another way to look at it. Basically provides you some of the support and resistance numbers that you may not have, but it's looking at the whole chart and providing you pivot numbers, which I like to have this indicator. It's called Pivots Traditional or Pivot Standard, I think it is. I like this because while in the middle of your trade, if you don't have a bunch of stuff charted, a bunch of lines put on, these pivots are here, and it's using previous price action to put these pivots in here for you. Basically, pivots being a place that it will pivot and turn around. And notice it came right here to this resistance one and turned back in phase. The next one, of course, is at 137. We don't want it to be up there because that's not where we're going. Marsha said her in phase just closed to 50% with $40 profit, and you're in sim. Woo, woo. Yep, we're still in sim May for those who are still trading in sim. Jimmy, did you find anything on ICT? I'm not sure. I mean, if you were looking, I'm asking. You might not have even been looking.
I am logging into Thinkorswim right now.
Okay. Let me see. Do real quick. What is a fair value gap? I guess if I have it on my chart. I remember I watched the video and listened to what it was all about, but it didn't stick. It didn't stick in my head of what a fair value gap is. Okay, this answer here says, what is a fair value gap? A fair value gap represents a price range on the chart where no trades were executed, often indicating a rapid price movement over a short period of time. These gaps differ from often other market gaps, primarily in the relationship with the market liquidity and trading volume. They occur between two trading periods with different opening and closing prices. Signal exhaustion gap, fair value gap, specifically shows area where price has skipped over, creating a void. Okay, so it's a place where price has skipped over and created a void. I guess it can happen around, opening when the market opens, things like that. That's where fair value gaps can then be created. So I can this guy here, has a little page. I'll put the page on in the link so that way if somebody wants to read about it, they can. Okay. I just know that in this particular indicator, it talks about it has a place for fair value gaps. And I do know I forgot about that whole skip over thing. I forgot about that. Dun, 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 dun. Let me see. What do I have for that in phase? Does my in phase? Yeah, it's at $9. No, it's at $20 and I want $8. So it's going the other way because the price is going up. I might need to see what it does because I'm not going to let my good trade turn to a bad trade while I sit here and watch. We're not doing that. Datadog seems to be changing a little, making a little bit of movement. The computer is moving slow when I need it to move faster. I'm hoping that I caught that before it closed. Okay, what other stocks we want to look at? Anything we want to look at for next week? Anybody got any thoughts? I guess we want to get out of this week, huh? I'm trying to get out of this week, lady. Not doing anything for next week. I am fussing with myself, fussing with myself, telling myself that you, sis, are doing the most. And we need to not be doing the most. Can we look at TMUS? Well, let's look at it. I'm not sure what that even is, but yeah, let's take a look. T-Mobile. I did a trade with ASTS, and I think ASTS did a combination, something with Verizon the other day, and that trade turned out pretty good. It was I did a put credit spread on ASTS. I don't think I might have put it in our chat, but I don't know if I did because I didn't really know anything about them. But they were on the move the other day after they got that news that they were connecting with Verizon. I think it was Verizon, might have been T-Mobile. But okay, let's look at the daily chart first and see what we see. Definitely T-Mobile's been on the move. I have T-Mobile as my cell phone provider for myself and my business. I use T-Mobile. They've definitely been on the move. So let's see what we see for some supports. Definitely would go with this 168 going up. I probably would keep with a put credit spread. I do see there is a pivot up here at the top, and I don't know if I see a call credit spread or I see a resistance back here because T-Mobile's been, I might have to change to a weekly chart so I can see if anything else is up here. It's not looking like it though. T-Mobile's been moving. Okay, so I would look at a put credit spread at this point because you don't really know what that's called credit spread up here. It looks like the resistance says it's at 172. So if that's something you might want to look at on the other side, you can. But I probably would go underneath. And if we go to a smaller time frame, we're probably going to see some more supports. If we go, I'm on the hour time frame here. So this resistance is showing up at 170. That's from yesterday till the day. Basically, something just closed. Oh, my EMPH closed. The 136.37, I had two of them. That one just closed. So support 168, 169. Now, this seems to be kind of pulling back a little bit, but all the time frame continuity shows that it's still green for the day, the week, the month, the quarter. So I would still ride with the time frame continuity of T-Mobile and look underneath here for next week. If we're looking at T-Mobile for next week, if you're looking from the put credit spread side, it's a 2.5 spread up here. 75%. Let me move this into the other screen so y'all can see what I see. This is T-Mobile. If we're looking here, I think we usually see some of y'all say it's harder to see it when it's small like that. So let's see if we can make it a little bit bigger. Look and feel. There we go. We can go with a larger size, apply the settings. There we go. So 167.5 is a 75%. If you want to go down to 165, that's an 87% probability out of the money. 167.5 or 165. 167.5 is paying for next week is paying $33, and 165 for next week is paying $13. So it's kind of going to be which one you're comfortable with, which one you're comfortable going with. Okay. They just bought US Cellular. I think I saw something about that too, that they just bought somebody else, which may be why they're moving on up like they're moving. Okay. Netflix. I thought Netflix was going to be moving from a couple days ago, and it didn't do a doggone thing. It's just chilling. Just chilling. This is Netflix on the daily chart. I think I anticipated a little bit more movement here. It went on up and did a pop and said, nope, not up in here, son, and dropped back. But it is trying to do a little something today. The gap between these two looks like it has been closed. If we look at resistance up here, it would be 603. I think that's 663. If we're looking for support, I would say I will put support down in here on the daily chart, 635. That's where I would put it on the daily chart. You probably could put one here as well. 642, 643, which is where it's currently kind of hovering right now. That's based on this candle here. Time frame continuity. Of course, the day is green because it just is in the day. The week, though, is red because this week is red, but it's got green going the other direction. So if we're looking at Netflix, if you were wanting to look at something for a call credit spread or put credit spread, you want to look at some credit spreads, not necessarily call or put, but you want to look at some credit spreads. Let's see what we'd have here. It's 10 o'clock. We got to go back and check on SPX. Did we say we wanted to do a call credit spread or a put credit spread? Yeah. It depends. Kind of 6 in one, half dozen in the other. I probably would look between the 635 and the 663 area because it's been in there for all these days, but it does seem to be on an upwards movement. It does seem to be on an upwards trajectory. So we would look at the put credit spread side. Now up here, it's a 5 spread. On the put credit spread side, it's a 5 spread. 74, 80% will be at 625, 622.5. That would be a 2.5 spread. If you come down to 625, which is actually much lower than the support is, but that's 80% or 630. If you want to look on the call credit spread side, because prices are going upwards, I probably would go with 662. Yeah, I said 660 or 665. So 625, 622.5 is paying $43. Wow, on the bottom. That's good money for next week. Oh, yeah, $43 on a 2.5 spread for 625, 622.5. That would be good. Let me see if we can put that over here. PCS 622.5, 625. But be next week for what's the 6-7. Again, none of this is investment advice. Just sharing with you what I'm looking at, what I can see. And then if we went back to the call credit spread side, I think I said, what did I say, 660, 662.5. 662.5 is paying another $50 for a 2.5 spread. If you wanted to go up one more to 665, that's paying $31. Still over 10%. So 665, 667.5. That puts you above this, the top of this. Puts you above there. That's looking like a good old trade. 665, 662, sorry, 667.5. Nice little iron condor. Okay, where'd you go? Apple, I didn't pick you. How'd you get here? How did you get here? I did not select you. Okay, call credit spread again for 6, 7. What is going on? It doesn't like for that I typed that. It's weird. What are we doing? Okay, I'm not going to try to type that again. No, they go for next week, Janae. People get into weeklies on Friday for next week. If you do it for today, it is 0 DTE, and Theta doesn't help you with today. But it will, because as time's going past and go faster, but it's also a day trade. So you can do a trade today for today. Just know you're going to use a day trade for that. But I'm looking at these for next week. So that way Theta helps you even more over the weekend. Let some of the trade draw up over the weekend. That's what that's all about. Okay, I need to write myself a note. So I will go back and look at the flicks of net. Look at Netflix, 665 and 625. Yep. Let's see what was that plus minus number for next week. I don't think we looked at the plus minus number. I just looked at plus or minus 27. So go up 27 from here, puts us at 671. It's a little bit higher. And if you go down from here, 27 puts us at like 617. Okay, so that's where the numbers we picked are inside of this plus minus 27. But I went with probability out of the money. If you wanted to go further out and really go with the plus minus number, you're going to take in less premiums, but maybe a little safer. Okay. We looked at Netflix. We looked at that. Do people do weeklies on Friday? Yep, they do 0 DTEs. Jamie, what do you want to say? Anything?
Nothing on today. Hope everybody has a great trading day, though. And be careful. It's Friday.
It's Friday, which means it's Friday. The bananas are out today because it's Friday. Okay. I've talked about the Start with the Chart challenge a little bit earlier. I'm swinging back around to it. Start with the Chart challenge. June the 3rd through the 7th. We're free. It's free to enroll, but you got to go over. You must register. educatortotrader.com. You must register, even if it's free. If you want the VIP, though, if you want to see the recordings, you want to have a Q&A session, I'll have one of those each day after the call, each night after the call. And you want trade ideas, all the extra stuff, all the extra bells and whistles. This is not, new to anybody. How does this go? But if you want the VIP, it's $47 for the week. Go over to educatortotrader.com. This is starting on Monday. We're doing it Monday through Friday. I'm sending emails out as you register. You get an email. Some people had registered. I realized this morning that I did not have the autoresponder set up for as soon as you register, it would auto respond and send you an email. But I got that fixed this morning. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for reminding me that I was missing a step. Because I was, usually what happens for me is as I wake up in the morning, the thoughts that can't seem to come through during the day because my brain is so busy, those thoughts come through in the morning as I'm waking up. So I have to jump on them really quick to make sure that I don't forget them. Your buy order for Enphase 134, 135 call credit just got picked up. Okay, I'm out. Wipes the forehead. Whew. Now we can look for next week. Tomorrow we can look for next week. The E2T membership is open, always open. We do these morning calls. We also have our weekly training, which we did last night. We had a nice Q&A session last night. And then on the monthly coaching call, which we're going to have tomorrow, we'll do that tomorrow. But we have that once a month. We also have a Telegram group. We hang out together. We trade together. That's where I put trade ideas. That's where I assist. All the things are there. Me and Jamie are there to help the folks, make sure that we can get everything that we need, all the guidance and everything that we need. That's $97 a month. Educatortotrader.com is where you can sign up for that as well. All righty. When you're in my membership, you get everything that I do. You get all those things for free. So any challenge I put on, any program I put on, anything I run at all. When you're in the membership, you get all those things. You get access to everything I do all the time. But if you're not in the membership, you got to register for stuff over and over and over. And you got to hope you don't miss nothing on the websites or anything like that. Okay. All right. So, okay. All righty. Let's do our trader declaration. You know what? I never did go back and look at SPX, and I want to go do that. I never did go back to SPX. This is what we got going. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. SPX is kind of chilling. We had a green candle, went right up to resistance 2, dropped back. Now it's outside of the, if you're doing the breakout, it is outside of the breakout, right? This would be our breakout, would be from here to here. Right, this is the area, and it has now broken out. So around 10:15 is when my community starts to look to see if they want to get into day trade and use the PDT hack. If you don't know anything about the PDT hack or how to use SPX every day to make your 10% returns every single day, that's a whole resource that you can go ahead and grab. Right, it's let me see. SPX playbook with the full strategy to make daily profits on SPX. You can get it at spxplaybook.net for $27. It includes what do you look for before you enter these trades? What's the PDT hack that allowed you to not use your day trades to trade a 0 DTE stock? All right, this is what we use that for. You can head over to spxplaybook.net and grab hold to that right away. Those of you who are doing Peakbot is probably going to enter trades today for it enters today for the trend spread bot. It will enter Monday or Tuesday for the wheel. Go ahead and get yourself signed up for Peakbot if you haven't already. It's connected with Schwab. And you can go ahead and have, automated trading happening while you're continuing to learn. Because some of us are still learning some of these strategies, but you can have an automated bot doing some of the trading for you in the meantime. And you get to decide what stock you're doing. You get to decide how much money is spent. The bot doesn't control your whole account. It only controls the trade you ask it to enter. That's all the bot does. It doesn't take over your trading account. But you can use Tradier. You can use Tasty Trade, or you can use Schwab. All three of those are on Peakbot, automated trading for sellers. And they have the wheel strategy, or the put credit spreads is going to let you do put credit spreads on a weekly basis. Okay, that's what's going on there. All righty. Try to make sure I don't leave anything off. All of our free resources are over at E2T-freebies, E2T-freebies. You can see all of the free resources, E2T-freebies.com. Let's hope this one takes, because sometimes these links don't like to go through Facebook, but they will go through YouTube. E2T freebies, E2T-freebies.com is where you can find all of the free things that Educator to Trader has put out. All righty. I think that's about everything. Jamie, am I missing anything? Sim May is wrapping up. My community is doing coaching calls tomorrow. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. I still think I might do that just one challenge for June. Even though we're doing the charting starting up at the beginning, I think we still can do our just one challenge. What do you think, Jamie? Should we still do the just one challenge for June?
I wouldn't do it for the whole month.
Why not?
I'll do it for like a week.
What? Why a week? I mean,
You
tell
got
me.
other
Tell me.
stuff, you got other
Oh,
stuff happening during June.
tis true. Tis true. Okay. The voice of reason. Because I'll be like, we're doing this for the month of June. He'll be like, what else we doing? What else? What else are we doing? But I do think we need we need the just one thing. I do think we need that. You don't think we do? I think we do.
That's the one where you focusing on just one stock or one strategy.
Yeah, just one stock or just one strategy. Yeah. Just one. A week is all you need.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying do just July or something because you already got stuff going on during June. Now, come on now. Then you're going to want to create another group for it. And then I mean, 9,700 groups.
Listen,
right?
You don't get to complain about that on the air.
I'm just letting you know what's going to come down the pike. That me and you going to be the only two typing in. Is all I'm saying.
That's real. That's real. That is real. Be like, there's a million people in the group and 2 folks is talking.
Like, I can inbox this to you directly.
Right, we can talk to each other.
Well, I mean, I think it's a great idea, but I don't know if you want to. Unless you're trying to combine them somehow. That's the other thing, then.
Well, I was going to combine them because I think that we can do both.
Okay. All right.
Hi. Because tell me in the chat, do y'all not think we need to? Do y'all not think we need to lean in more on just one stop or just one strategy?
We're not debating if that's the case. We're debating the timing. When you got another project during June. That's what I'm saying.
Because June is really, we need to focus on charting in June. SPX is still going out. It has broken out of that zone, by the way.
If June is charting, then July would be the just one.
Okay. I can go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. That'll give me time to get myself in order before I start a call. Before I start something else, like you get you together. So June, we're doing the charting in June, and we're gonna have we're not gonna do the just one June. It could be just one July, because that still goes. Because I was trying to go with
it still goes.
It still goes. JOJ, just one June, just one July. It still goes. Okay, so we'll do the
same alliteration. It is the same alliteration.
Yeah, so now we get the charting for June. We got to call that something though. I can always start with the chart June. That don't flow as well.
Nah.
Start with the chart is fine. We just leave June off of it. Yeah. So Tamar, thank you so much. Tamar says your courses and tools have changed my trading. I've become consistently profitable. Yay! More wins than losses. I greatly appreciate you, Arlissa, and your community. I appreciate you for saying that. And I've captured it. You might see this in my social media, but I've captured that. I don't ask for testimonials or reviews often enough, but I need to do that more often. Because folks be looking in these social media streets, they be looking for social proof. And I'm like, well, okay. Check me on YouTube. That's where we proven in there. All righty.
All right, so also jumpstart June and then just one July.
Okay, look at you. We're gonna put him, we might fool around and put him on the payroll.
Come start.
Listen here. I want y'all to know that Jamie don't work for free.
Don't tell my business player. Don't tell my business player.
I ain't telling your business. I'm just letting
Don't
people
tell my
know.
business.
I'm just
Don't
letting
tell my
people
business.
know that Jamie Irvin don't work for free.
The government is listening. The government is listening. Do not tell my business. The government is listening.
The government doesn't know your real name has not been mentioned.
Big
So
brother is paying attention. They got
gonna
my IP address, Pampa.
They got your IP address. I didn't call your whole name, your whole government
Don't
name. Yeah. Jumpstart Jew. Janae said him and his many names talking about his for a friend.
For a friend. For my friend.
Because are we invest with Jamie? What did we change it back? What happened to that?
It was say it again.
Was it investing with Jamie?
Jamie is investing.
Oh, no.
Jamie was investing.
Janae was like, he got here go another name. Here we go. I ain't even say nothing. I was like, hey, he can be whoever he want to be.
Thank you.
As long as he be here on Monday and Wednesday. That's what I need him to be. I need him to be here on Monday and Wednesday. He can be whoever he want to be.
Tell all your multiple personalities to meet here on Monday and Wednesday.
To meet here on Monday. Bring them all. Bring all your people on Monday. That's all we talking about. Make sure you bring them to the call. Look at SPX decided it wants to go on down. What are you doing? SPX is like, we going down here. They got a down day week. Of course, the week has been down for SPX, but okay, let me go and put our stuff up because I need to make sure I'm ready for tomorrow. I need to manage a few trades that are on my portfolio list. Whew. Anyway, I'm gonna do better because and the reason is I take myself into a stressful place when I'm opening things. I'm like, this is gonna be great, and I'm gonna close it up early, and next thing it's Friday, and as I got 4 and 5 stuff still open, and I'm like, this now I got to worry about stuff on a Friday, and that's not what I want to do. Okay, the trader declaration. I declare I'm a great trader. I declare I'm a successful trader. I declare I'm a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My account is growing more and more each week. I am a wise and knowledgeable trader. I always make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. I declare I'm level-headed, and I do not trade with my emotions. Okay. Janae said, I had a feeling we would go down. Solve people in their Trump feelings. Lord, as you give us the power to get wealth, you teach our hands to war with the purpose of establishing your kingdom. Help us today to trade wisely and strategically to fulfill this purpose. Give us more than enough so we can have what we need and enough to be a blessing to others. All righty, we're going to close out May strong. Make sure that you take the time this weekend to look at your previous trades, what went well, what didn't go well, where you made money, where you lost money, yada, yada, and what was going on at that time, which is easier to do when you only have the just one, which is why I need to focus in more. But write them down. That way you can see what you're going to do moving forward. We're 5 months into the year, and our trading portfolios are growing, but we want to grow them. We want to scale up. I want you to look at particular stocks that you like, and if you really like those stocks more, start putting weight behind it, right? Again, not investment advice, but if you like, for example, we started trading Enphase, or Tamarcia, she trades Enphase a lot. As you're trading that, now that you get more comfortable with that stock, start adding more weight. Put on 2 contracts, put on 3 contracts, put on 4. This is going to keep, Arlissa, I'm talking to myself, by the way, so I'm looking in the camera. It will keep you from looking at too many things if you put weight in one place. So that way, when it returns for you, you can feel that return. You can put your focus where it goes. All righty. That's just what I want my little TED talk or my Arlissa talk, because I don't really know who Ted is. The TED Talks came from a guy probably named Ted, but this is my Arlissa talk. Thank y'all for joining. All right. So we're doing 2 things today, at least 3, maybe 4. We're going to stay green. We're going to get this money. We're going to have a great green day. And I want you to enjoy your weekend and give your nervous system a break over the weekend. Take some time away from the markets. Even though I always say when I got free time, I still want to do some studying, but I need to also give my system a breather, right? So give your system a little bit of a breather. Yes, do some studying because the weekends are for studying and charting and getting prepared, but don't do that so much so that you don't give your system a break. All righty. Well, if you're in my community, you can definitely see me in the chat. Otherwise, I will see you in the market. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.